My friend, when you're nearing the end of beginner guitar, that means you've got a vocabulary. You know what a G major is opposed to a C major. You know that a C major, a G major, and a D major are in the key signature of G major. You can play a few scales in root position. If you've gone as far as a C or circle fifths, you know how to name each and every one of these different notes. You understand that scales are just collections of 7 notes that when we put in order, they give us the note names C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D, A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. They have certain names for notes that we layer on sharps and or flats depending on the key signature. So at this point, if you have vocabulary of what a triad is, the 2 dyads that make up your major third or your minor third, so you can start seeing sonorities of chords. Making sure that when you start your root foundation, you know what all your triads are. So if you could play a G major here, and you could take this bass chord and put your finger up here and move these notes around to find different notes that work with the G, these become extensions. 2 chords that we absolutely use, which are the basis of all extensions, are the 7, whether it's major 7 and a minor 7. We also have chords that are 6 chords and then 6 with a flat 6. So you have like an augmented or a minor kind of feel over the top. Again, you can name a chord anything and you can torture it until it shows you what you want to see, but your G major to an A minor, B minor, C major, knowing the forms of your major shapes and that what a major third and a minor third looks like, and then knowing what a third to a fifth looks like, and then have your minor third to a fifth. These are all essential to kind of figure out what a major pentatonic is and what a minor pentatonic is. When you get to that level, you're about at the beginner stage to know, like, you know, a chord and then another chord with another chord makes a progression. So if you're doing something like you can take all the tea in China, you could hear it as being a C sharp minor, maybe make it a 7, D, and when there's a new chord introduced, you can hear that E major from the chord, 9 times out of 10 in standard music, will be part of that 7-note key signature. The family chords, the 3 majors, the 3 minors, and then the diminished. Being able to do that, C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, B diminished, C, makes it a lot easier to be able to follow songs and create your own. At this point, if you've watched this video for 3 minutes and the vocabulary like triad or dyads or harmony or chord in root position or chord in inversion, having another note, playing the lowest note, being able to see an A major can be played with a third in the bass and know that this is just an first inversion is a pretty cool thing. When you hear the minor, same thing. So an A major that has a C in it, we would have a major minor chord. A lot of the times we would have something really cool like a A major 7, and being able to play that in a bunch of different places all over this fretboard is super groovy and important, because when you can do that, you can move from one quadrant to another. The aforementioned pentatonics, when we start seeing these structures as being something that's mobile and moves up and down the fretboard, you can shift these and play them in scale. So when you see different notes that are from a scale, they all relate to a chord. A lot of times we only really learn one type of minor pentatonic, and that's a type of pattern that is built out of 5 different patterns. When learning, like, let's say A minor, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, we view it through the eyes of A major. A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, and A. Being able to associate all the different patterns for the minor and then all the different patterns for the major as well, they allow our fingers to not jump around and do stuff. So when we start playing patterns which are a little outside the box, let's say C major still, D minor 7, G minor, now we're in the key of B flat, C, down to F. Again, D minor, A minor, D minor, A minor, walk down G minor. When you feel the need to start grooving, and you know that you want to feel like being able to put the notes D, D flat, D, E, E sharp all together, or preferably D, C sharp, D, E, F, you would see that playing your natural minor does not have this note. The next step is getting the vocabulary to know that this note, charismatically, when you play natural minor, alters that to something called harmonic minor. When altering this natural and also adding a natural 6 in there rather than our flattened 6, we get melodic minor. You can combine all these different minors to scale, but really knowing that the process onto which learning 3 different majors, 3 different minors, and then 1 diminished run makes up all of our major keys, and that the natural minor is the 6th of the chord. So in C, it's A minor. In D, it's B minor. In F, it's going to be D minor. Being able to have a fix on all of your sharps, all your flats, the 15 keys, knowing what the names of the notes are, that really is the foundation of music. Being able to count rhythms and then utilize a pick, being able to hold your finger in the right position, like where your thumb might sit, where your elbow's going to hang out, where you're looking while you're doing this stuff. That really comes down to the person. You know, I've seen a lot of stuff in my days. I've seen people lay the guitars on their laps and play it like a drum and do some pretty amazing stuff. If you've never seen like Andy McKee or who's the other? I don't know. There's a couple people that are doing it. It's really special. It's really cool. It really blows my mind. So every time I teach, I learn. Every time I learn, I teach something to somebody. I really dig these videos. If you do, thumbs up, put something cool in the comment section. But this video is just basically about building a vocabulary, being able to know what a dyad is, seeing how that relates when being able to move them around together, knowing what notes are other dyads from the key, being able to take our 1, 3, 5 that is our triad, like G major, G, B, D, G, B, D, G. When you see these as being 3-note structures, they become something called an arpeggiated note. Well, if we were to make it a G dominant 7 with the F in there, I could also add the F, G, B, D, F, G, B, D, F, G. These notes then become really kind of cool because you can build different melodies from them. If you have something like a major 7, you know, there's something that's a little more jazzy. No matter where you're going to play this, you could also encourage to have those notes. By doing this, it opens up many, many more doorways to see how your chords, triads, can be influenced by an extension note. Aforementioned, generally our major 7 or our minor 7, the dominant chords. We also use 6 chords, which we use in 6 nines or extensions, but then we start adding on like the 9, 11, and 13. So if you don't know what any of this stuff is, now is the time to start adding on vocabulary to what you're already doing. If you want, you can check out this channel in the live section. Every Tuesday, I do a live video discussing stuff like pentatonics, minor pentatonics, and then being able to see different patterns which arise out of playing these. Having major and minor chords which share key signatures allow us to have first options for when soloing or jamming. And then lastly, being able to put names, and that not only just put names to these like C Ionian, D Dorian, E Phrygian. How do you use these? What's the point of that? That's the whole purpose of having a little vocabulary and knowing. Believe it or not, you could take modes and put a hat on a hat. So if you already know a mode like, let's say C Lydian, where you sharpen the F to an F sharp, you could also have like a flat 9. And a lot of these things like Lydian flat 9, you know, how often would you play it? Well, it just depends on what song or progression you're doing. Having a little bit of vocabulary helps along the way if you really want to take this to the next level. But for those of you watching things saying, no thanks. Yeah, I get it. You don't need to. You don't need to know what you don't need to know that this chord hypothetically forms a minor and that it also forms a major 7. But I could tell you, if one person is playing like an A major 7, and you could hear your A major 7 as being very close to your C sharp minor, you then realize C sharp minor is the minor 6th of E major, which makes you think if you're playing like an A dominant onto which you flatten the leading or lending tone to a minor 7th rather than a major, and that gives you all of your different movements that we just talked about. You can start seeing that playing E, which would have had that G sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, now can be flattened. So when you're playing different modes, like let's say E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D, E, you could refer to like saying, oh, if you take away D sharp, E mixolydian is A Ionian. So an A major, quite literally, is an E dominant. So it gives you buddy chords that you can use over progressions and have fun with it. So I do hope that helps you with your quest to start a foundation. The next real big level is to start moving into intermediate guitar. That means that if you've gotten this far without having a teacher or something, I suggest hiring somebody, taking a couple lessons here and there. There are other things to get better at music if you're looking for the broad spectrum of it. Take voice lessons. Go see a musical play. Be a part of a chorus. Learn how to play an instrument which seems weird, like the banjo or the recorder or a harmonica. It'll help you in your journey just to understand the whole idea and the concept of music, and then especially how to communicate about that music. If you enjoyed this, thumbs it up, put something cool in the comment section, and we'll see you soon. Bye.